Good morning, dear students. I'm Dr. Mahesh, Assistant Professor and Chairman, Department of Commerce, Karnataka State Open University. Today I'm here to engage the paper on marketing management. Are you there? Good morning, dear students. Hello. ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಹೌದು ಹೇಳಿ. ಸರಿ ಸರಿ ತರ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸರಿ ಸರ್. ರಾಕೇಶ್ ಅವರೇ, ಈಗ ಹುಡುಗರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹುಡುಗರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಹೌದಾ? ಅದೇನು ನಂಬರ್ ಏನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಲೈವ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. 5.6 hours ಆಗಿದೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೈವಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಬ್ರು ಹ್ಞೂ 133 ಈ ಥರ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಆದರೂ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಓ, ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಈಗ. PPT ಹೋಗಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸೈಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಅದೇ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿರುತ್ತಾ? ಸರಿ ಸರಿ ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. Yes, good morning, dear students. As I already said, today I am going to engage the classes on marketing management. Before going to discuss in detail about the marketing management, let us first concentrate towards what is the concept, the basic components or concepts of the marketing management. Generally, dear students, generally marketing is understood to mean the sale and purchase of goods and services. That is what we say that normally it will comes to a layman's mind. Marketing means it is a place where goods and services are bought and sold. But it is a narrow thinking to understand it so. If we think that Marketing is a place where goods and services are bought and sold means it's a narrow type of thinking. There are so many aspects which are get associated in the modern marketing concepts. Now, it's not only meant for to buy and sales, it is beyond that. It is extended beyond the purchases and sales of goods and services. The term marketing is very wide. As I said, it does not mean only the sale and purchase of goods and services. It means entire process of satisfying the consumers or the prospective customers. They're the customers who are buying your products and services. They have to be what the satisfaction is very important. Unless we are not able to satisfy our prospective customers, if the customers are highly unsatisfied about the product and services which your company is offering, definitely they concentrate towards other products. Normally they will leave the product and they will concentrate other identical product or the similar products which are available in the market. That's one thing. If they are done so, that is enough. There is no problem at all. But instead of that, if they start bad mouthing about your product, definitely your company is going to be ruining the what you call their features in the market. That's why most of the circumstances, if the company is releasing a product and positioning the product inside the marketing, they not only concentrate about the product. In addition to that, they should concentrate towards how best I can able to satisfy, how best I can able to cater to the requirements of my consumers. That is very important, and it continues till these needs and wants are satisfied. On the one hand, we are talking about the producing the good product and releasing the good product and positioning inside the market. On the other hand, how best I can able to what you call satisfy the needs and wants of my consumers. They understand the meaning of marketing clearly. It becomes necessary that different concepts or components of marketing must be understood for the convenience. The concepts of marketing may be divided into two parts. The first one is old concept of marketing or product oriented concept, and the second one concept is marketing or consumer oriented marketing. In your study material, they have segregated into five. One is what you call the old method of marketing or the product oriented concept, production oriented concept, then what we quality oriented concept, and modern marketing concepts. These aspects which are going to speak about how you are going to be what you call dividing the components of marketing and how best you can able to what you call to give justice to the customers through your offerings. That's why they had divided. When we talk about the production oriented concept, most of the company they concentrate towards how best they can able to provide the product to the consumers with a lesser price. Price is a motto here. Majority of the consumers, especially country like India and other developing country, the consumers are more price sensitive rather than the quality consciousness. When they are more price sensitive, the company is going to be striving for how best they can able to mitigate the cost, how best they can able to produce the product with the what we call lesser price. If the cost has been reduced by the company with the lessor, definitely they would be what you call fix the lowest price or the customary price and they release the product to the customer, release the product to the market, whereby the consumers are going to be buy the product. That's why the cost of manufacturing the product is very important. In these circumstances, in these concepts, most of the companies they are striving for reducing the cost which is attributable to the production. And I spoke about the product concept. What's the product concept? What's the difference between the production concept and the product concept? As I said, production concept is going to be speaks about the cost which is incurred for manufacturing of the goods and services. Whereas in case of product concept, they are going to be concentrate more on enhancing the quality in the product. There they are trying to they're striving for reducing the cost. Here they are going to be striving for how best they can enhance the quality in the product. Certain consumers are there. They don't compromise with the quality. They compromise with the price, but they don't compromise with the quality. They want the quality product. Whatever the price which is going to be fixed by the company, that doesn't matter for them. They go for, say, for example, a branded products, or you may go for luxurious product where the consumers are, they don't bother about the price, whatever may be the price which is fixed by the company. For keeping those customers, for keeping the customers who are highly quality sensitive on the consciousness, for them they are going to be concentrate this through, they're going to be address the market through this product concept. And we have certain other things. We have certain other things, that is the old concept or production oriented concept. This classical concepts of marketing, according to this, the concept marketing is part of production process. This concept is based on the assumptions that the manufacturer must produce the goods and distribute them to the consumers. He needs not to bother about the choice of the needs of the consumer. Some important definition of this concept is as under. According to American Marketing Association, marketing is a performance of business activities that direct the flow of goods and services from the producer to the consumers. According to American Marketing Association, what they are telling that they're telling that it's a flow, it's a performance of the business activity that direct the flows. It's going to be guiding the flow of goods and services from producer to the what you call from end users. Here, sharing the slide is a bit difficult because it's a different platform which we are using. Then, according to Professor J.K. Pyle, the marketing comprises both buying and selling activities. About two definitions, marketing confines the marketing to sale and purchase only. These definitions do not include and allied activities of marketing such as transportation, storage, financing, insurance, risk bearing, etc. I was talking very beginning. I said marketing is not only meant for what you call explain these two definitions which are talking about only the narrow, only the buying. These two definitions restricting only the buying and selling, but it is not the marketing activity because which excluded the storage, financing, transportation, insurance, and the risk bearing, etc. All these are again the part of your marketing activities. Then, in order to overcome from these narrow aspects, another definition has came into existence, that is the Tusky Clark and Clark. Marketing consists of those efforts which affects transfer in the ownership of goods and services and provide for their physical distribution. They are going to be providing for their the distribution of the goods and services. On the one hand, we are producing the goods and services, we are releasing the same to the market, and whereby the distribution is also a part of your marketing activities. This definition of marketing includes the factors of physical distribution, also along with the sale and purchase of goods and commodities. Thus, this definition is wider than the earlier definition. Why it is wider than the earlier definition? As I said, those two definitions are narrow one, but whereas this definition is the dynamic in nature, which gave the scope for the various other aspects or other components of your marketing activities. And we talk about the characteristics or the product oriented concepts of your marketing. The characteristics of old or product oriented concepts of marketing, which speaks about the first feature or characteristics is stress upon production. Before this, I would like to highlight one important point is they might be go for asking for the 5 marks question. Outline briefly the concept of marketing. Then you need to write both production concept and product concept along with the definition. What the definition I explained. The three definition which I explained, you need to write about those two. Sometimes they may directly go for asking, explain briefly the characteristics of production oriented or product oriented concept. Then you have to write now what I'm going to discuss the feature. It is stress upon the production, as I said, because why they are going to be stressing upon the production means in order to mitigate the cost and offering the goods to the consumers as much as lower price. Second feature is it assumes that marketing is only the physical distribution of goods and services from producer to consumers. The product concept is narrowly think that, as I already said, the earlier two definitions which also what you call focusing or stressing this point only. That is, marketing activity is only meant for physical distribution of goods and services from producer to the consumer. On the one hand, we are talking about the production. On the other hand, releasing the product to the market or positioning the product inside the market. The third important component is how best you can able to make your product to be available to the end users. The manufacturer is in different place, the user may be in the different place. How best you can able to make your product to be available to the each and every consumers who wants. The third one is it assumes that marketing starts after the goods have been produced and it ends after the goods have been sold. This is earlier marketing activity. Where what was the earlier marketing activity? Now it is different. Trend has completely changed. But I'm talking about the product or production oriented stage. What earlier it assumes? It assumes that marketing is always starts after the production only. Once the production process is completed, then the marketing activities will come into an existence and which is going to be wind up, which is going to be completed once the consumers have been bought the goods from the either manufacturers or from the market intermediary. But today the trend has become changed. Before the marketing will start from the product idea. Even physical product which has not been existing in the company, the physical product which has not already been produced, it is in the idea stage only. The real marketing is going to be start from the planning stage, the idea stage of your product till the what you call the consumer satisfaction. Earlier I said after production, after buying, marketing is before buying, marketing was closed, but now it has been changed. The pre-production in the head though, again it is going to be end up with the post-production. That means what the post-production, that is after sale service, whatever the services the company is going to be extending to the consumers in order to make them happy, how best they are providing the services after the sales, whether the consumers are happy with the whatever the product they bought from the manufacturers. For that, what is very much is required? The very much required is how best the company is able to provide the services to the consumer. Start from the installation of the product, usage of the product, and satisfaction survey from the consumers. That's why the scope of the marketing has been extended from that to till the post stage of the buying the goods and services. The fourth one is it does not provide for any allied activities of marketing such as transportation, warehousing, insurance, and the financing. That means the product concept or production concept, as I already said, which doesn't give any scope for the allied activities of the marketing. Because the very third characteristics or features is it's clearly advocating that it is going to be start after production, it is going to be end before sales. That's why it is a narrow market. Real marketing is not like that, because those days, when you look at those days, when you look back those days, the competition was very mitigated. The competition was very less. The number of identical products which are available in the market were very less. That's why whatever the product which is released by the company, whatever the product which is going to be produced by the company, consumers were inevitably they were expecting the what you call accepting the product because of the less choice and the alternatives which were available. That's why the production oriented concept were doesn't have any scope for the allied marketing allied activities. That's like transportation, warehousing, insurance, finance, risk bearing, etc. According next stage, according to this concept, the ultimate object of marketing is to maximize the profit by maximizing the sales. This concepts of marketing, which is strongly concentrating towards only maximization of their profit by increasing the sales. They believe in if they increase the sales, definitely their profitability will be boosted up. While having such concepts, they are going to be concentrating much towards increasing the sales. Now we're looking towards the need for studying the marketing discipline as a discipline. We are going to be dividing the whole components into the different segregation. That might be from a consumer perspective, it is very essential for us to study the marketing as a discipline. From a part of our daily routine, we need to study and understand the marketing discipline. Let us go one by one. As a consumer, every human being is a consumer in one or the other day. Starting from your wake up from the bed till you go for sleep, one or the other way, either from the online, either in the virtual platform, or in the offline, or in the physical mode, you're going to be visiting and you're going to be buying. While unknowingly, you're going to be what you call directly or indirectly, you are going to be included. You are going to be include yourself into the marketing activities. Everyone buys and uses or the other products and services which they are very essential and have been marketed by the manufacturers or market intermediaries. Sometimes you may get the product directly from the manufacturers where there is no much scope for involvement of the market intermediaries. But sometimes that from the purchasing from the directly from manufacturer it is not possible. At those circumstances, they might be go for making use of the market intermediary. Through these intermediaries, they are going to get the product. So, as a consumer, everyone should have at least at a minimum knowledge about the marketing discipline. I'm not the manufacturer, I'm not the seller, but still, as a, being a common layman, being an ordinary person, I'm directly or indirectly I used to involve in the marketing activity. That's why it is very essential for me to understand what you call the marketing activity or to study the marketing is very essential. Part of our daily routine, second one. Marketing discipline has become the part and parcel of our everyday life अथवा every daily life. The products or services we use, the retail outlets or wholesale outlets we visit, and the ads to which we are exposed to our parts of marketing. So as our part of routine work, there is a need to study the marketing as a discipline. You might be seeing that when you switch on the what you call your television or you go for your mobiles, one or the other ads you are going to be continuously are going to be exposing. Why it's going to be happening? Because that is a style or that is a function of the companies. They try to educating the customers while providing the ads, repeated ads through the what you call the print and electronic medias, including the social medias. The next slide is about the third characteristics of your the third need for studying the marketing as a discipline: exciting and rewarding career opportunities. Millions of people They are getting the bread and butter only through this marketing career. Most of them they were doing as a marketing executives, salesperson, sales representatives, isn't it here? Either directly or indirectly, they are going to be involved themselves into the what you call career opportunity. They got the employment, they got their jobs from this marketing discipline. In the marketing field, there are many exciting challenges and career opportunities. One should get good rewards from the marketing activities if he knows its discipline. Suppose if an individual, if he have the adequate knowledge in the field of marketing, if we understand the conceptual background of the marketing, definitely he can be able to what we call survive in the marketing field. And for his survival in the marketing field, it is very essential to study marketing as a discipline. Fourth one plays a significant role in economic growth. When I said marketing discipline which provides millions of job opportunity, obviously its contribution to the growth of economic is very high because it is directly or indirectly increasing the earning capacity or of the individual. When earning capacity of the individual has been increased, automatically or invariably the buying parity of the consumers will be increased. Job, when you have the money in your pocket, you think of your what you call shopping. You think of your spending. If you doesn't have the money in your pocket, definitely you can't. That's why marketing is indirectly is going to be contributing towards the economic growth. Due to marketing activity, there will be a high chance of economic growth if study its discipline in depth. We can extend the marketing activities up to the economic growth. The same is shown in the following flow chart. Now I'm going to be shown how it is going to be contributing in the next slide, the flow charts. Marketing stimulates, as I already said, what it's going to be stimulates some assumption. The consumers they might be have certain what you call the pictures in their mind. If I bought that product, what will be happen? If I choose marketing as a career, what will happen? Then the research. When marketing stimulates either individual to go and buy the product or one who seek the career opportunity, again he used to have certain ideas. From consumer perspective, from employment perspective, both should do a research for gathering the more and more information and to decide. The decision is based on the research. Whatever the data, the qualitative data and the quantitative data they might be having, based on those data, they try to what you call decide. It will help for them to decide which one they can go for. To develop new products, the new products will be developed with the help of what you call research, because the data which they have been gathered. New product attract, if the product is gone well and good, if the idea has been suits very well to the expectations of the customers, then definitely the product which is going to be attracted from the consumers, more and more consumers. Once your product has start attracting in the market, it has properly penetrated into the market, definitely more and more number of the consumers will come forward towards your the product. That speaks the popularity or the attraction from the consumers towards your product. When the attraction, they receive more and more attraction from the consumers about their product, definitely the consumption pattern will be increases. That means you might be go for, well, if I'm going to be like some product, definitely I'm going to be buy, isn't it? What is behind here, how best the product is going to be attracts, how best the product is going to be makes me to buy that the product. Once it has been succeeded, definitely the consumption pattern will be increases, then disposable income is increases, then standard of living is going to be increases, then increased economic growth and development. It's all linked, each one to another. There will be a clear link will be there. Like this, your marketing discipline, which contributes a lot towards the development of the economy. Now we'll move on towards approaches to study the marketing. Marketing concepts begin with a well-defined market, focus on the consumer needs, coordinates all the marketing activities affecting customers or buyers, and makes profits by creating long-term customer relationship based on customer value and satisfaction. There are so many aspects, as I said. It begins with a well-defined market. A well-defined market means where exactly I'm going to be placing my product. In marketing, we used to say that right place, right product. For example, to launch your ice cream product, Ooty is the safe place, Ooty is the best destination, or to launch the woolen garments, your sweaters, mufflers into the Gulbarga region. Can you feel it is a well-defined market? No, certainly it is wrong, because of course those two products are right products, but we have placed in the wrong segments. If you place your woolen garments into the Ooty markets, definitely your product will have a market. It will be a well-defined market. If you place at this summer the ice creams into the Gulbarga region, definitely it is the right market. Isn't it here? Like that, they need to be think of before releasing the product to the market. Whether right market which have been choose, which have been selected, the right the destination to place my product. And it focuses on consumer needs. Always, what is the base for us to release the product to the market? Whether the consumers are wants my products or not, whether they require the product or not, that I need to look into it. Once if the consumers are ready, then I can go for releasing the product to the market. The question is here, how I should understand whether my consumers are require this product or not. This can be done again while conducting pilot study, pilot survey, while choosing the targeted customers. While selecting the targeted customers, if the company has done the pilot study or the pilot survey, by that they can able to understand or assess the what we call needs of the customers, requirements of the customers. According to that, they coordinate all the marketing activities which affecting the customers or buyers, and makes profitable by increasing the long-term customer relationship based on customer value creation, value and satisfaction. You need to have long-term customer relationship. I should not cut down my relationship once the product has been sold. It is not the right way of dealing with the customers. What I mean to say here, the how best your either the company or your market intermediaries, they do hold the long-term relationship with their customers, then only it can be possible for them to what you call satisfy their customers, to create, then only it can be possible to what you call to go for this. Approaches to study the marketing are many. Those are depicted as below. Sorry, due to some technical disturbances, I had gone and I came back. Okay. When we talk about the approaches to study the marketing, we have the functional approach. Functional approach attention is drawn towards specialized services or the functions or activities performed by the market. Specialized services, some products you might have seen which require a specialized service, which may be in terms of a technical oriented services or activities performed by the marketers. What kind of the activities normally a consumers they are going to be what you call performed, that they might be go for highlighting. Those functions are depicted here. One is the basic function. What's the basic functions of your marketing? Normally, it's buying and selling of goods and services. Supporting function that speaks about how best you are facilitating the availability of goods by physical distribution from one destination to another destination. That is indirectly how best the company is going to be dealing what you call to make the product available to the customers. Then sub-supporting function, it speaks about transportation and warehousing. Say for example, the manufacturing company is at somewhere else, then the warehouses may be at the another market destination. Why this? Again, to smooth running of to smooth marketing of your goods and services. That is, without create any hassles in supply of the goods and services to the end users, they might be go for using the facilitating function as a transportation and warehousing as facilitating function. Then other facilitating function which include financing, standardization, and risk bearing. This all the finance is required for making the physical movement of your goods and services from one place to another place. Then standardize in terms of package, risk bearing, how best you are able to bear the risk while taking the support of your insurance. You are mitigating the risk while transporting it from one place to another place. New facilitating functions, which includes market investigation through market research. It's a recently added one. In every stage, in order to assess the what you call the customers' needs, preferences, and discrepancies, they try to go for conducting the marketing research in each and every stage. Thus, only the mechanism where the company is going to be understand certain level about the customers. Certain merits of your functional approach, easy of buying and selling. It is very easy from the consumer's point of view and even from the seller's point of view to undertake the basic marketing function. Wide range availability of product and services. Under this scheme, you can able to expect the wide range availability of the product and service. That is so many products. It has a scope to conduct the marketing research. Wherever the company feels for the betterment, they can go for conducting the marketing research. That can be possible with the help of what you call merits and the demerits. It lacks application oriented. The application oriented decision could not be possible to take in this what you call the functional approach. And we have another one, institutional approach. In case of institutional approach, it focuses on the marketing institution or agencies Like marketing intermediaries include wholesalers, retailers, transport undertaking, banks, and insurance companies, etc., who are generally participate in discharging their marketing responsibilities during the movement of distribution of goods. The various institutions are as follows. Suppose if you would have done through the retail end, again the departmental stores, discount houses, chain stores, and the supermarkets are the best example for the institutional approach from the retailer's point of view. And we have wholesale end. I spoke just now the retail end, and in the same way, I'm talking about the wholesale end, the wholesalers, auctioneers, brokers or commission agents, or the consumer agents who are at the wholesaler's point of, or that the wholesale, they're going to be what you call again the part of your institutional approach. Certain merits are easy to flow of goods and services from one place to another place to the huge number of the consumers. It's very easy because if the consumers are away from 1000 kilometers from the headquarter of the manufacturing company, even with the institutional approach, he can able to get the goods wherever he resides. Then it makes easy to manufacturer to distribute product to consumers without bearing a risk. Without involving any additional risk, it is very easy for the manufacturers to distribute the goods from one place to another place. It also, unfortunately, it also suffers from certain demerits. They might be having it. The first one, it creates financial burden to the ultimate consumers. Again, how it's what you call burden to the consumers when your marketing activity which subjected to involve what you call the market intermediaries or institutional approach. Certainly each one of these intermediaries, they do the business with a certain motives, certain profit motives. If they don't get the profit, certainly they don't do the work. They do not carry out the business. Suppose manufacturer manufacture a goods for rupees 100. When it comes to wholesalers, it will be 110. When it comes to retailers, it will be 115. And it comes to end users, it will be 120. 100 rupees product, because of involvement of these market intermediary, the consumers has to pay additional 20 rupees will be burden on the consumers, because each one of these market intermediary, they do the business without, they cannot do the business without getting the what you call certain amount of what you call margin. Then we have third one, commodity approach. The studied functional approach, institutional approach. The third one is the commodity approach. In commodity approach of marketing, we study the flow of a certain commodity and its journey from producer to consumers or the buyers. We can have a complete picture of the field of marketing. This approach is also used to identify the commodity and the study that and study of that commodity. This is going to be helps to study about the market and as well as that particular commodity which already released in the market. The factors to be considered while studying the product which moves from producer to production units to ultimate consumers. Which are those factors? One is source and condition of supply, from which source they are getting the raw material, and what will be the production process, and what will be the what you call the supply of the finished product to the consumers, nature and volume of demand, What's the nature of the product? Whether it's a perishable commodity, whether it is a fast moving consumer goods, whether it's a luxurious product, that we need to identify what is the nature of the product and volume of demand. The volume of demand is very high. It is the repetitive in nature, or it is once, it's very occasional. That we need to assess. It will help us to go for to track the production process. Purpose of commodity requirement, whether it is a basic a commodity which will fill the basic requirement, or it's an additional product, or we may say that it's a luxurious product. That we need to be go for deciding whether it's a basic requirement or it is an additional supplements. Who requires it? Suppose if I'm going to be produce this product, who's the targeted customers who are going to be use my product? If there are no users, why I should produce? The production is not arises. That's why who uses this product which speaks about the targeted customers, the customers who are eagerly waiting for using your product. And what are the channels and decisions regarding standardization, promotion, pricing, etc. What's the channel you are going to be selected for moving your product? Decisions regarding the standardization, that speaks about the brand, which brand you are going to be tagged, and how best you are going to be what you call make use of those standardization for the penetration of your product inside the market. And the promotion, how best you are going to be promoting your product. And very importantly, what's the price of your product? What's the price you're going to be fixed for your commodity? Whether it's a customary price, so it's a skimming price, that you need to go for decide. That is possible through this approach only. Then unfortunately, this commodity approach is also suffered from certain demerits. It's very lengthy approach. So when we look at certain points, that itself is going to be speaks that it is very lengthy approach. A small marketing firm cannot undertake such kinds of the activities. The next one is management of exception approach or decision making approach. Finally, a decision making or management approach combines some features of the commodity that sometimes some experts may also called as this is an extended version of your commodity approach. Institutional function, institutional functional approach, and seek to relate them from the decision making viewpoint. How you are going to be synchronizing, how you are going to be what you call clubbing or correlating your functional approach, your institutional approach, and the commodity approach for discharging the decision at the right time to arrive the conclusion. The area of marketing decision or marketing organization, the product, distribution, policies, pricing, advertising, and personal selling, all these different areas in the marketing, all are going to be required. Discharging of timely decision is very essential. Suppose if the timely decision is not possible from your end, definitely your company is going to be ruining the market. There is no doubt at all. Undoubtedly, you are going to be lose your market. Thus, what is very much is essential, how best and how fast you are going to be discharge the decision. For discharging the decision blindly, one could not able to draw the conclusion. Blindly, one could not able to draw the conclusion, or they can what you call discharge the decision. For taking decision, timely decision, certain inputs are going to be required. Those inputs they might be get from the what you call functional approach, institutional approach, and the commodity approach. While clubbing, while having these ideas, this stage This approach will helps you to take a decision at the right time. About the product decision, which product your company is going to be producing, whether you are coming with the basic products, you are coming with the advanced product, you are producing the capital product, which product you are going to be fall on the line from your by your company. And suppose one particular product which you have decided and they can go for production, the very next question is what would be the distribution, whether you are taking the support of the institutional approach for the wide range of availability of the product to the consumers, then you have to be think here itself. Then the policies, different marketing, long-term marketing policies and the short-term marketing policy, what your long-run marketing policies which advocates and what your short-term marketing policies which will speaks, that you need to be what you call carefully decided. And the pricing, it is very very what you call sensitive factors, it is very very what you call a very sensitive factors, which is going to be decides the fate of your product survival in the market. That's why while taking the policy, while taking the pricing decision, so many factors has to be considered by the company. What is the cost which is attributable to the production? What's the competitor's product? What's the features you are going to get associated with the product here? What price? Whether you are gone for the basic customary price, you are gone for the competitive price, or you gone for the what you call break-even price. The break-even price is where you are going to be price the product, no profit and no loss. Competitive price, how best you are going to be fix the product while keeping your competitor's product price in your mind. Because why I'm stressing more here? Because this is the factors which decides your product movement, your product life in the market. Advertising, how best you are going to be conveying the message to the consumers about your product, about your offerings, whether you will be able to take the support of the media, you will be taking the support of the celebrities to address about your product, where exactly you are going to be what you call advertising, in which platform you are advertising your product. That is very very important. And the last, personal selling. Though this personal selling is a part of your promotional activity, but decision is very much very very essential. In case of personal selling, whether you are undertaking the personal selling from the promotional point of view or making your product to be wide range availability in the market, and what would be your decision? What's the input which is in the hands of the company to take a decision on personal selling? These aspects one should be taken care while what you call deciding the marketing. These are the certain approaches to study the marketing. 10 marks and they might be go for asking for the 10 marks. Discuss or explain the approaches to study marketing as a discipline or marketing discipline. Then you have to write all these points. First one is functional approach. Second one is institutional approach. The third one is what you call your decision. The third one your commodity approach, and the fourth one is management of exception approach. Isn't it? In the next class, I'm going to be discuss some important concepts, that is core concepts of your marketing. If you have any queries, you can drop the questions here or you can text to my mobile. In the next class, I'm going to be address those issues. Thank you.
Good morning, dear students. Myself, Dr. Sukanya, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, KSOU, Mysore. Now, I'll be handling the subject Human Resource Management for you. Now, as all of you know that you have five papers in first year MCOM. Now, out of that, Human Resource Management also happens to be a paper wherein it is basically a theory paper, and it is paper 5 in your course. So now let us see about what do you mean by this human resource management, why exactly human resource management is important. Okay. Now, dear students, first of all of you should keep in mind that when you talk about four M's of management, I think you people have heard that there are four important M's that is used, okay, in management. One is money, the other one is material, then you have machinery, and of course, manpower. Now, dear students, when you say money, of course, without finance, none of the business organizations can exist. So, money is important. And of course, you need material. Machinery is also important for getting the work done. But please keep in mind the fourth M, okay, which is manpower, is one of the most important M's in management. That means to say, dear students, in any company, they may be having money, they may be having materials, they may be having machinery. But remember, without manpower, the organization cannot exist. Okay, so manpower, okay, or people are considered as the main assets of the organization, because even if you have very advanced machineries in your in your organization, without men you cannot get the work done. So please keep in mind that manpower or human resource happens to be the biggest asset for an organization. Now, dear students, human resource management is a subject which deals with management of human resources. Okay, or as I already told you, human resources is also called as manpower of an organization. Okay, so managing people, managing men, okay, is what this human resource management talks about. Now, dear students, see George Elton Mayo, he is popularly called as the father of human resource management, and he also said that managing people is a very complex task and human resources should be considered as an asset for the organization. Okay. Now, dear student, as I already told you, human resource management is a subject which is basically concerned with manpower management. Okay. Now, here let us look at some of the definitions of human resource management that has been given. Okay, now here when you look at the first definition, Edwin Flippo defines human resource management as planning, organizing, directing, controlling, developing, compensating, integrating, maintaining, and separation of human resources. Okay, so here, whether it is with regard to planning or organizing or directing or controlling, everything they are talking about in connection with the human resources of the organization. Okay, so human resource management is very very important, and in any organization, if they need to prosper, they have to think about human resources of the organization. Okay, now dear students, after looking at the definition of human resource management, let us look at the very very first important concept under HRM, that is with regard to the nature of human resource management. Okay. Now, dear students, as I already told you, manpower planning, manpower is very, very important for any organization. Without the existence of manpower, you cannot think about having the other four, I mean, three M's. Other three M's are almost a waste if you don't have manpower. Now, let us start with the nature of human resource management. Dear students, the first point here says that inherent part of management. Okay, that means to say, first of all, selecting the people for the job, providing the training for the people of the job, motivating them, okay, and appraising the performance, is a part of human resource management. Why? Because as I already told you, human resource management deals with people. So you have to select people for the job, provide them training, motivate them, appraise their performance. All this is a part of HRM. Okay. Then please remember people oriented. See, human resource management itself means to say that it is concentrating on people in the organization. Okay. So people is what is most important in any type of an organization. So people oriented is very important term here. That means to say human resource management is basically concentrating on the people of the organization. Okay. And then dear students, future oriented. That means to say if the human resources of the organization are properly managed. Okay, now people should be properly managed. Only then you can think of achieving the goals of the organization. Now, as I told you, it is not an easy job. Now, the management of any company, only if they are in a position to manage people effectively, they will be in a position to achieve the goals. They will be in a position to achieve the objectives. Okay, so that is why human resource management, okay, is a subject. It deals with managing the people, and only if people are properly managed, they can. The organization can achieve the goals. Okay, and also please keep in mind, dear students, development oriented. Okay, is the next point, which means to say that if the human resources of the organization are properly managed, then definitely the organization can develop. Okay, and also please keep in mind that managing these people is a continuous task. Okay, that means to say, see, once you use the term human resource management, it is not that you can manage people today and tomorrow you forget it. No, human resource management is a continuous function. That means from the time the employees get into the organization, okay, until they retire from the organization, you need to think about managing them. Okay, because without managing human resources, the organization cannot achieve any of its goals. Okay, now dear students, let us go to the next very important concept, scope of HRM. What do you mean by the scope of HRM? Scope of HRM is nothing but what all are included in human resource management. Okay, now dear students, human resource management, okay, it includes several aspects, and one of them is human resource planning. Okay, now see, when you use the term human resource planning, it is nothing but filling up of various positions. That means to say, now dear students, I think every now and then you will see that there will be lot of vacancies, okay, in the organizations, and they will give an announcement. Okay, advertisements will be given saying that such and such a job, there is a vacancy for such and such a job. Those who are interested can apply for the job. Okay. Now, what you should keep in mind is human resource planning is the organization, first of all, they need to plan how many employees are required. That means how much of vacant positions are there, what type of employees are required for the job, okay, and what is the qualifications that are required for the employees. All that is what is dealt in human resource planning. Okay. Now, dear students, then you also have recruitment and selection. One of the other important activity under HRM or the scope of HRM is that it includes recruitment and selection. Dear students, all this in detail you will be learning in the next coming classes. But as of now, keep in mind, recruitment is that, first of all, now just now I was telling you, once there is a vacancy of a particular job, so what has to be done? There must be a proper advertisement that should be given. When that advertisement is given, only then it means to say you are encouraging the people to apply for the job. Okay. Now, and you know that if there is one vacancy, let us say 100 people have submitted their resumes. Okay. So all cannot be selected, dear students. Only a few of them will be selected for the job. Okay. So please keep in mind, under the scope of HRM, first thing you have about human resource planning, which I already told you, it is mainly concerned with finding out how many people are required, what is the number of vacant positions. Okay. It also includes recruitment and selection. It is nothing but recruitment is it is like persuading people, encouraging people to apply for the job, and finally selection will be done based on the people who are most efficient. Okay, they will be selected for the job. Okay, then human resource management also includes job design. Okay, job designing is nothing but, now what are the tasks that are involved in each and every job? Okay, what are the responsibilities that are there in each and every type of a job? Okay, that has to be sorted out, because for each of a job there are different duties will have to be done, different responsibilities will have to be performed. So the job designing is again another important scope under human resource management. Dear students, again, training and development is the fourth point. That is nothing but in human resource management. See, now let us say recruitment. That is, you have given an advertisement that so many vacancies are there. Then you have selected the correct person for the job. Now, once you select the person for the job, immediately you cannot tell him to do the job. Why? Because you have to provide him with proper training and development. When proper training and development will be provided for the employees, they will be able to work better. Okay. So, dear students, please keep in mind training and development is also another scope which is included under HRM. Then appraisal of performance. That means every now and then when the employees are working in the organization, you should see how they are working, whether they are working efficiently. If they are working efficiently, okay, so what you need to do, you have to appraise their performance. Okay, you have to give an appreciation for whatever performance that they are doing. So appraisal of performance is also another scope that is included under HRM. Then motivation to the workforce, that means to say motivation should be provided to the employees to perform the job. Only if motivation is provided, they will be able to work better, right? Now anyone, if they are appreciated for what work they are doing, they will feel motivated and they feel, yes, I have to work much better. Okay, so motivation should be there. And of course, remuneration, providing remuneration to the employees. You know very well, dear students, that none of the employees are coming to the organization to work free of cost. Okay, why are they coming to the place of work? They're coming to the place of work so that they can earn a fair remuneration. So the management has to think of giving a proper remuneration to the employees. It should be very fair and equitable compensation should be given. So that also comes under scope of HRM. And also giving them good welfare facilities, like good working conditions should be given to the employees, transportation facilities should be given to the employees, medical assistance should also be given to the employees. Okay, now onwards, you have some of the concepts which are very important. Now, rather, like for example, now this is one of the important concepts under HRM, which says the difference between personal management and human resource management. Now, dear students, please remember there are two terms which are used. Now, as I told you, one of the terms that is used is personal management. Personal means individuals management, a person's management. And now, familiarly, we call it as human resource management. Now, these two terms are generally used, but we need to know what are the differences when you use the word personal management and when you use the word human resource management. Okay, there is a lot of differences which is there. So now coming to the first point, personal management, management of the people employed. Okay, whenever you use the word personal management, it means to say you are talking about management of the people who are employed in the organization. But human resource management is a broader concept. Okay, it talks about management of employees, skills, knowledge, abilities. It is more broader. That means to say, when you use the term human resource management, it means to say it is your responsibility as a manager. You have to give importance to employees' skills, their abilities, their knowledge, and also you should try to develop their skills, knowledge, and abilities. Okay. Now, dear students, when we come to the second point, okay, in personal management, employees, when you use the term personal management, see, employees are treated as an economic man. Okay. Now, employee is treated as an economic man in the sense like he comes to the organization to provide service and he works for salary. So, when it comes to personal management, it considers a worker or an employee as an economic man, which means to say he has to provide services in exchange for what? Salary. But when you use the term human resource management, it means to say you're not just treating an employee as an economic man, but you're treating him as an economic, social, and a psychological man. That means to say, so you should not always think that employee comes to the place of work only for the purpose of salary. Let us give him salary, and that is the only thing. No, he is also a psychological man. That means to say employees have their own attitude, beliefs. Now, let us say if the employee is working in the same work he's doing for years together, he's not given a promotion. Okay, so what happens is work becomes uninteresting. So he feels, what is this? I'm doing this job for 10 to 15 years. There is no change in the nature of job. The same work I'm doing, I'm not getting a promotion. I'm putting in so much of efforts, I'm not getting a promotion. So what happens? He will feel demotivated. Okay. So that means to say employees will have their own feelings. Okay. They'll have their own beliefs. So psychological man in the sense, first of all, employees are not just working for money. They also have interest. They must be motivated. They should be promoted. Their work, their efforts should be recognized. Only then they will be satisfied. Okay. So, in human resource management, employees are not just treated as an economic man, but as a social and a psychological man. Okay, he is working in a society. Give him a status, give him an important status. Okay, that is what human resource management talks about. And dear students, see, when you use the term personal management, that is now today mostly the term human resource management is popularly used. But then, when the term personal management was predominantly used, employees were treated as tools and equipments. That means to say, there are so many machineries in the factory. Employee also happens to be one of the machinery. They were treating them like that. That means employees were not given. They were not treated as psychological human beings. They were not treated as any important. But today, see, employees are treated as a resource. Okay, that means to say employees are the actual assets of the organization. Now, see, today, if you say that Infosys, Wipro, Tata, Birlas, they're all, those companies are doing very well, it is first of all because of the employees in the organization, because of their efforts that that organization is doing well. So employees are treated as a resource when you talk about human resource management. And then personal management. Under personal management, employees were treated as cost centers. That means to say, earlier what was happening was the management were thinking that, oh, we have to spend so much amount of money for paying to the employees. What cost we have to set aside, okay, for the paying of salary for the employees. So they were treated as cost centers. But under human resource management, employees are treated as profit centers. Okay, that means to say, please keep in mind that the employees, okay, they are okay. That means any organization when they are earning a profit, it means to say that the profit that they are earning is definitely because of the employees, right? Okay, it's very important for us to understand that. Okay, and then employees used as organizational benefit. That means employees were considered in the personal management that yes, the organization must take as much benefit as is possible from the employees. Okay, but here when the term HRM came into existence, employees are used for multi-mural benefits. Okay, so see, that means to say they started feeling that employees are also a part of the industry. They should also be treated as a member of the family. Okay, so that was the change that happened. Okay, from personal management to human resource management, and personal function was considered as a secondary function, but human resource management is a strategic, a very important function. Okay, and under personal management, it was considered, it was looking at the short term perspective, but human resource management, okay, it takes into consideration the long term perspective. Yes. Now, dear students, coming to the next important slide, objectives of human resource management. Okay. Now, I've already told you that human resource management is mainly concerned with the manpower management. Managing the people in the organization is called as human resource management. Now, what are the objectives of human resource management? Look at the first point, to employ the skills and abilities of the workforce efficiently. Okay. Now, in human resource management, what happens is now an employee, one individual is having a lot of skills, lot of talents he's having, but you have to make him recognize his skills and talents and to work efficiently. That happens in human resource management. Okay. And to provide the organization with well trained and well motivated employees. Okay, because of human resource management, what is happening, so organizations are able to get lot of motivated employees for the organization who are trained, okay, and who are able to work very well for the organizational benefit. Okay, and then to increase employee satisfaction, what is the other objective of HRM? They want to provide satisfaction to the employees. Okay, now dear students, all of you please keep in mind, only when the employees are satisfied, okay, with whatever job they are doing, what will happen, they will try to put in more and more efforts. Once they put in more and more of efforts, they will be able to, put in better efforts, they will be able to do work efficiently, and that is how the organization will also be in a position to develop. So, one of the objectives of human resource management is to provide a satisfaction to the employees. And dear students, they want to provide a quality of work life. Okay. See, today in an organization, employees are not just looking at how much salary they are getting, but they want to have a good quality of work life. That means to say, they expect that good infrastructure facilities should be provided to them. Okay, good lighting facilities should be there, ventilation should be there. Okay, they must be provided with safety, and also health related requirements should be provided to the employees. So human resource management aims at providing quality of work life, a very good quality of work life they want to provide to the employees in the organization. Okay, then another objective of human resource management is to communicate the HR policies. Now, dear students, see, HR policies is nothing but it is relating to the human resource policies of the organization. So these policies has to be properly communicated to the employees in the organizations, okay, so that the chances of them committing errors must be less. Okay, now human resource policies should be strictly followed by the employees, so that is another objective. And to be ethical and socially responsible. Okay, now say for example a company like Infosys, you know that it is working so much, they are earning crores of profit, but still they are working for the welfare of the society also. Okay, so you should make the employees to understand that we must be socially responsible. Okay, we must be work in such a way that we will benefit the society. Okay, then to provide an opportunity for expression and voice in management. Okay, now dear students, human resource management mainly sees to that the workers should be given an opportunity to take part in the management decisions. Okay, now see, gone are the days, that is 20, 30 years back, what was happening was that whatever decision was taken by the management was taken by them altogether. They were not at all considering what decisions or suggestions is given by the employees. But today, what is happening is they are also considering whatever suggestions are given by the employees in the organization. Okay, so providing an opportunity for expression, okay, should be provided to the employees in the organization. So please keep in mind that is again an objective of human resource management. Okay, and also fair and acceptable leadership. Okay, so that means to say human resource management also aims at providing efficient leadership and also in maintaining work relationship. That means to say, human resource management mainly aims at providing good relationships should exist between the employee and the employer. Okay. Now, dear students, one of the most important slides is this. Okay. Now, when you go through some of the previous year's question papers, basically the question about what are the functions of human resource management is very popularly asked, and it is a question which will generally be asked for 10 or 15 marks. Okay. Now, in this particular chart itself, the entire explanation is there about the functions of HRM. So let me tell you, this slide is very important, dear students. So what you need to do is that if you people are in a position to concentrate on this slide, each of the concepts I will explain to you in detail. So if you understand this, you will come to know completely what is human resource management, what are its functions. Okay. Now, dear students, please keep in mind, as I've already told you, human resources management is mainly with regard to manpower management of the organization. Now, look at this slide. You have two important functions, HR functions. Okay, dear students, the first major function of human resource management is called as managerial function, and the other function that you have is operative functions. Okay, so firstly, if there is a question on the functions of human resource management, firstly you would draw this chart. After drawing the chart, you can start explaining the concepts one by one. Okay. Now, first thing is, keep in mind, human resource functions are classified into two categories. The first category is the managerial functions. The second category is the operative function. Now, dear students, when you say the managerial function, what does it include? Managerial function means planning, organizing, directing, controlling. Okay. First thing you need to keep in mind is the managerial function of human resource management is mainly with regard to planning for the human resources of the organization. Okay, then you have to organize them, that is organize the employees in such a way that they are able to do the job in a systematic manner, give directions to the employees of the organization, controlling the employees of the organization. So when you talk about the managerial functions, okay, as I just now mentioned to you, it is about planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the employees in the organization. Now, dear students, coming to the major one, operative functions. Now, under operative functions, now see here, if you understand these five subdivisions, all this is there as a separate unit for you in the HRM subject. Okay, that is about procurement. You have about job analysis, planning, recruitment. All this is there as separate chapters. Again, under development, what all is there? All that is there as separate functions. Now, I will try to explain to you one by one. Please listen to me carefully. Coming to the first important operative function, it is called as procurement. Okay. Now, dear students, under procurement, you have job analysis. What do you mean by job analysis? Now, dear students, you know very clearly each and every job will have a separate job title. Okay. Now, it may be called as a marketing manager, you may be called as an HR manager, you may be called as a technician. Okay. So, each and every job will have its own title. Not only that, each and every job, please keep in mind, will have its own set of duties, will have its own set of responsibilities. Okay, so that is why what you people should keep in mind is that human resource, yes, please keep in mind, job analysis is analyzing what are the duties, what are the responsibilities which is there in each and every type of a job. What is the nature of job that is involved? What are the skills and talents that are required? Okay, if a person has to apply for the job, All that is dealt in job analysis. And don't worry, job analysis happens to be a separate chapter by itself. Okay, so when I take that chapter, I will tell you in detail about what is this job analysis. Coming to the next point, dear students, human resource planning. Now, dear students, please keep in mind when you use the term human resource planning, it means to say you have to plan how many human resources are required in the organization. Now, let us say if 500 employees are required in the organization, and if there are actually 700 employees, that means to say for 200 employees, you're paying extra salary, right? On the other hand, if 500 employees are required and if you have only 400 employees, it means to say 100 less employees are there. So the work of 100 people you are giving and dividing among those other 400 people. So there will be job stress. What I'm trying to tell you is human resource planning means there should be a proper planning about what is the actual requirement of human resources in an organization. So that is human resource planning. Then, dear students, recruitment and selection. Okay, see, recruitment and selection is nothing but persuading people to apply for the job. That means to say, now let us say you have identified that there are 20 vacancies in the organization. Now, if there are 20 vacancies in the organization, what you should do, if you keep quiet, nobody is going to apply for the job. No, if you give an advertisement, only then people will be applying for the job. So recruitment is nothing but persuading the people to apply for the job, encouraging the people to apply for the job. Then a selection. See, even though you make people to apply, you're going to give an advertisement, so many people are going to apply for the job. Now, just because many people are applying for the job, it does not mean that all of them are going to get the job. Definitely no. Only the talented people will be getting the job. Okay, so although many people have applied for the job, only few of them will be selected. And dear student, after this, the employees have been selected, induction is nothing but you should try to introduce the people. Now, once let us say 20 people have been appointed, you have selected them, they come to the place of work. Now you have to introduce them, okay, not only to the job, you have to introduce them, tell them that this is your place of work, you have to work with these people, these are the people who are working in your team, this is the immediate superior to whom you have to report the job. All that introduction has to be given to the selected employees. That is called as induction. Okay, then you have transfer and promotion. Now, dear students, please remember transfers and promotions will keep on happening in the organization. So transfer is nothing but a person will be shifted from one place of work to the other place of work. Okay, and promotion is nothing but, of course, there will be an increase in the responsibilities. Okay, and there'll also be an increase in the salary of the employees. So promotion also is a part of procurement. Okay, so the first operative function, dear students, is procurement. And as I already told you, procurement includes job analysis, human resource planning, recruitment and selection, induction, transfer, as well as promotion. Now, dear students, coming to the next important operative function, it is called as the development function. Now, under development, please remember the main thing that you need to keep in mind is training and development. Now, dear students, please keep in mind. See, now, especially some of the popular, let us take the example of some of the popular banks. Okay, now SBI Bank, for example, the largest public sector bank in India. Now, in SBI, what they do, they spend so much of money for giving training to the employees every now and then. Now, training is very, very important because, dear students, see, today you may be learning about banking, you may be learning about insurance, you may be learning about accounting. But once you go to the place of work, you cannot practically to do the job is very difficult. It is not as easy as you read it in a book. So once the employees have been selected, it is the responsibility of the top level management to give them proper training and development. Okay. Only if proper training is given to the employees, they will get to know how exactly the work has to be done. And once they know how the work has to be done, definitely they will be able to put in the best of their efforts, because of which they can perform well. and that will in turn help in the overall development of the organization. So please keep in mind, providing training and development is also one of the very important activities, okay, under operative functions. And dear students, coming to the next concept, compensation. Okay. Now, compensation is nothing but, very clearly, the employees in the organization, okay, are very much working for the purpose of compensation. Okay, nobody is going to work free of cost. They also need to be paid remuneration. That is about compensation. So, dear students, under this operative function called compensation, it deals with job evaluation. That means to say, see, dear students, very clearly the employees who are having different designation will not be paid the same salary. You know that the salary will be paid according to the risk that is involved in the job, according to the duties and responsibilities that is there in each and every type of a job. So, what happens in job evaluation is that the management is going to evaluate that job. That means, what is the risk involved in the job? What are the qualifications required for the job? What is the skills and talents required for the job? Okay. So, based on that, they will be able to fix the wages and salary for the job. Okay. And dear students, bonus and incentives. Okay, this now nowadays these concepts are becoming very popular. So bonus, okay, when exactly the employees will be getting bonus, and about the incentives. Okay, you must be very familiar with this incentive concept. Incentive is nothing but the amount that is paid over and above the basic salary is called as incentives. Okay. Now, dear students, what you people should keep in mind is, now employees will not be happy only if basic salary is given to them. They must also be given some motivational benefits. Like, for example, if incentives are given, okay, now especially this incentive is given in marketing. Now, for example, there are two employees, one employee A and one employee Mr. B. Now, let us say A is able to sell 10 cars in a month. B is able to sell 15 cars in a month. Now, if both A and B are given the same salary, B will definitely feel demotivated. Okay. Now, B will feel, what is this? I am selling five more cars in a month, but I am also getting the same salary like what A is getting. Then why should I put in more efforts? So, that is why incentive is an extra amount of remuneration which will be given to the people who are putting in extra efforts and extra skills and talents who are putting. Okay. And then coming to the payroll, okay, that means to say the payroll of the employees has to be fixed by the employer of the organization in a very efficient manner. And please keep in mind, today there is so much of competition. If your organization is not giving a good payroll, immediately they will go to another organization where they can get a better salary. So, fixing the compensation is a very complicated task, and only if good salary and other incentives is given to the employees, only then they will stay in that organization, or the chances of them leaving the organization will be there. Okay. Coming to the next point, dear students, integration. What is this? Job satisfaction. See, it is the responsibility of the top level management to see to that the employees are satisfied with whatever job they are doing. If they are not happy with the job that they are doing, definitely they will not be able to put in efforts. They will not work efficiently. So, providing them with job satisfaction, that means to say, whatever facilities are required for that job, that has to be provided with them. Okay. So, if you don't give them proper lighting, no proper ventilation, ask them to do work for 9 hours, 10 hours a day, then who will be satisfied with that job? So try to see to that good satisfaction is provided to the employees. Then grievance redressal. Dear students, you know that as human beings, each one of them will be having grievances, that is problems. Similarly, employees in the organization, they will be having a lot of problems. Now, when the employees is facing the problems, please keep in mind the employer has to solve the problem of the employees. Only then the employees will feel that yes, my problem is solved, okay, and they will feel happy about it. But in case the grievance of the employees has not been solved, definitely the organization cannot find that the employees will be happy about it. Okay. So then conflict management, any type of a fight that arises in the organization, conflict is nothing but the fight that may arise between the one worker and the other worker, or the worker and the top level management. Whenever there is any type of a conflict, please keep in mind the management should see to that that conflict can be resolved. Okay, that fight has to be solved. It should be the problems has to be solved, or the conflict has to be solved, only then the employees will be happy. Then encourage participation of the employees. Okay, the employees are the actual assets of the organization. They should be encouraged to participate. Always remember, in today's competitive world, the management should not try to take the decisions on its own. Okay, when any important decisions has to be taken by the management, they should see to that they're going to give importance to whatever advices, suggestions that are given by the employees of the organization. Okay, and discipline. Okay, so discipline is another very important concept, which is very important. So that means to say, maintaining the disciplinacy in the organization is very important, and the management has to give certain guidelines to the employees, okay, of the organization. See, discipline can be anything from the time. Okay, now let us say the timings of the work. The management should be very strictly tell them that this is the working hours. You have to come to the place of work within such and such a time, and they should tell them, okay, you should not come to the place of work in a drunken state. Okay, and then they should tell them, like for example, in certain factories, even today, they have to wear a uniform. If they have to wear a uniform, they should strictly instruct the employees that uniform has to be worn every day. You have to come to the place of work by such and such a time. So any of the rules and regulations that has been made by the management, all that should be, I mean, strictly informed to the employees, and it should be followed. Only then there will be discipline that will be followed in the organization. Okay, and dear students, coming to the last operative function, it is with regard to maintenance. Okay, now under maintenance you have health and safety. Yes, dear students, please keep in mind. Okay, now providing proper health and safety benefits is very, very important. Okay, now see, what happens is only if the employees are healthy, they can regularly come to the place of work, right? So once they come regularly to the place of work, the absenteeism will not be there. So they'll regularly come to the place of work, and production also will not be affected. And also safety. Now, dear students, see, especially when it comes to a factory, now there are so many employees who are working and who are operating machineries which are very dangerous. Now, if you don't provide them with proper safety equipments, now let us say if you don't give them with the gloves, and if the goggles are not provided with them, what happens? The chances of industrial accidents will be more. So that is why health and safety measures has to be provided to the employees of the organization. Okay. Then social security. That means to say, dear students, I think you people have heard about gratuity, provident fund, pension fund, okay, then insurance. All these are some of the social security benefits, okay, that has to be compulsorily provided to the employees in the organization. And also the welfare schemes has to be given to them. Okay, only if you provide them with proper welfare facilities. Okay, and today see, in most of the organization, because they have started recognizing employees as the assets. Okay, they tell them that they organize some vacations, take the employees for the vacations, and sometimes when the employees go on a vacations, the amount that they spend there will be refunded by the organization. If all these types of benefits are provided, only then the employees will be happy about the organization. Okay, and personal records. That means to say, each and every employee's record should be properly maintained by the organization. Right from the day the employee gets selected, okay, and he starts working in the organization, it is very important that his records will be maintained. Okay, his personal records. Now, let us say he has taken leave for a certain period of time. Why exactly he's taken the leave? Okay, all those records should be maintained. Now, let us say he is promoted to a higher level job. The date from which he is promoted, what is the salary today, what is the salary after a few years, okay, what has the changes occurred. All that has to be properly maintained by the organization, and also audits should be carried out every now and then in order to see to that things are happening in a smooth manner. Okay. Now, dear students, this, as I already told you, a very, very important chart. So, what you need to do is, if there is a question in the examination about the functions of human resource management, you need to first of all clearly say that, okay, human resource management functions are classified into two basic things, that is the types, that is managerial functions and operative functions. So once you draw this chart, okay, and under this, if you start explaining each and every concept clearly, definitely it will be more worthy and you will be able to fetch more marks. Okay. Now, dear students, coming to the next slide, the importance of human resource management. Why is this human resource management so important? It is very important because only because of human resource management you can attract and retain the talents. That means to say, if you want to attract, okay, that is skilled workers, you need very talented employees for the job. Okay, how can that happen? Only because of human resource management you can think of having attractive, candidates for the job, and then you can retain them. That means to say, not only employing such people is important, even retaining that talent is also all the more important, and that becomes possible mainly because of human resource management. And then training people for challenging roles. Okay, so in human resource management, what they do, they try to train the people. Proper training will be given to the employees so that they can take up some challenging roles. Okay, so any type of challenging work that is given to the employees, they will be in a position to take up those challenging jobs. Okay, and that is again possible because of human resource management. Okay, and human resource management also helps in developing the skills and competencies of the employees. It helps in promoting team spirit. Yes, dear students. Okay, now today, teamwork, working as a team is very important for any of the employees in any organization. So most of the work that the employees do will be in a team. So here, because of human resource management, what is happening is people, that is the employees, have been encouraged to work as a team. Okay, they will be motivated to work as a team. They should work in groups. They should work in teams. So that is possible mainly because of human resource management. And dear students, employees are able to be committed to their job, and they're able to be loyal to their work mainly because of human resource management. Okay, human resource management plays an important role in providing loyalty and commitment. It is encouraging the employees to be loyal, and also their commitment also on the other hand is increasing mainly because of human resource management, and their productivity is increasing because of human resource management. What is happening, the profits of the organization is increasing, people are able to work with job satisfaction. Okay, so as I already told you, one of the important objectives or functions of human resource management is that they should try to make the job interesting, they should try to provide very good working conditions. Only then the employees will be satisfied. Okay, and once they give them very good salary, incentives, bonus and things like that, so it enhances the standard of living. That means to say, if there is proper human resource management in an organization, obviously what will happen, the standard of living of the employees will be high, they will be able to perform in a better manner. Okay, and more employment opportunities will be generated basically because of human resource management. Okay, so more employment opportunities will is increasing. Okay, so more and more people are getting the job, and right people are getting the right job. Okay, that is all because of human resource management, and a lot of trust and respect is also increasing among the employees in the organization basically because of human resource management. Okay, now dear students, again another very what is a popular concept, a very important one. What are the qualities of a HR manager? Now, just now I was telling you that Human resource management means managing of people, and say it is the duty of the top level management to provide a lot of benefits to the employees. They should see to that the employees are happy. They should be satisfied with whatever is the working condition and whatever salary that they give. Okay, but now, what are the qualities that are required for a good HR manager? This is very, very important. Why? Because a good leader, only if you have a good leader, you will have good followers. Okay. If you don't have a good leader, then how can you think of having good followers in the organization? It is definitely not possible. So that is why, please keep in mind, a person who happens to be a leader, who happens to be a HR manager, he should possess certain qualities. Only then he will be able to lead the team in a very proper manner. Okay. Now, Henry Fayol, he categorized the qualities of human resource manager as physical. Okay. Now, talking about the physical health of the manager. See, please keep in mind. So, when you talk about the qualities of a good HR manager, first of all, the health conditions, the physical health of the manager should be good. So he should be a very active person. He must be energetic. Okay, he must be talented, and also he must know how to make use of the skills and talents of his employees. Right? See, employees may be talented, but still, only if there is a good HR manager, he will recognize the skills and talents of the employees, and he will see to that he makes the best use of that. So, a good HR manager, first of all, he himself must be active, energetic, he must be healthy. Only then he can be called as a good HR manager. And when you talk about the mental health, he must definitely be able to understand things. That means to say, see, once an employee comes and tells him about his problem, he should not just ignore him. He should be able to understand what is the problem of his employees. Okay, what is his expectations? He should be in a position to judge. He should be in a position to confidently take decisions. Okay, and then he must be firm in his decisions. He must be very responsible. Any leader for that matter, he must be responsible. Okay, only then he can see to that the work happens in a systematic manner. Okay, so a good HR manager should be responsible. He must take up initiatives. That means to say, if there is any type of a problem, he should not simply ignore that problem and try to be very cool. Okay, any type of a problem that is there, any type of a decision that has to be taken, HR manager should take up the initiative. He must be loyal. He must be very dignified. Okay, and not only that, coming to the educational background, of course, he should have sufficient knowledge. Okay, so a good HR manager is the one who will be having sufficient management skills should be there. Okay, he should know how to manage people. Dear students, please keep in mind. You can manage money, you can manage materials, you can manage machinery, but management of people, okay, or management of manpower is very difficult. It's not easy. Okay, so that is why a good HR manager is a person who is able to manage people. He must know how to control them. He should know how to get the things done by them, because you know that as a manager, it's not just enough if he is doing the job, but he should get things done by others in a systematic manner. Okay, and not only that, a good HR manager should be mentally alert. Okay, he should be alert all the time. He should have presence of mind. He should be competent to take quick decisions. See, today in this global scenario, for taking one decision, if it takes days together, definitely the organization cannot prosper. So a good HR manager is the one who is in a position to take quick decision, and honesty is very important. He should be a man of honesty, integrity, patience, very, very important. Okay. Now, see, for example, let us say one of the employee comes to the place of work late, a little late. Okay. So immediately you should not, an HR manager should not scold him and immediately dismiss him. You should not do that. Why? Because it's a loss for your organization itself. Because an employee happens to be an asset, and once you lose that asset, it is very difficult to get back the asset of the same time. So what you should do is have some patience. So a good HR manager should have good patience. He should be a good leader. He should be socially responsible. Today, this is very important, dear students. Any organization, it is not just sufficient if they keep on earning profit more and more. Okay, They should be in a position to take care of the society also. Okay, so looking after the benefits of the society, so you have to help the society also, which will be possible only if you are a good HR manager. You should be a good communicator. Okay. Now see that is as a good HR manager, he should have good communication skills. He should know how to communicate to people at different situations. He should be well mannered. Always remember, dear students, once you have a good HR manager, definitely the employees in that organization will be going in a right path. Okay, that is why, first of all, an HR manager should think that he is a role model. He should try to be a role model for all his employees. Okay, that's why I told you he should have n number of qualities. He should be responsible, competent, patience he should have social responsibility he should have, and he should be firm, he should be able to take quick decisions, he must be in a position to solve the problems of the employees in the organization. Okay. Now, coming to the last slide for today, dear students, which are the different factors that are affecting HRM? Okay. Now, human resource management, managing people and all, I already told you, it's not an easy task. And there are so many factors that are affecting human resource management. Which are the factors? Economic factors. Okay, that means to say the population in a country. Okay, then the workforce. Now, the population, based on the population, you will be taking the vacancies availability, you will take a certain number of workforce, so the economic condition in the country will have an impact on HRM. Now, dear students, look at the condition. That means economic condition means to say, now see today you have the COVID times. Now, in this pandemic situation, the economic condition of the country is not good. When the economic condition of the country is not good, definitely that organization cannot pay very good salary to the employees. Okay, see here, paying good salary to the employees is one of the jobs of HRM. But what happens here is, in such a economic situation, it is not possible for them to give them a good salary. But if the economic condition is good, definitely good salary and incentives can be given to the employees. So, based on the national income of the country, the per capita income of the individuals will definitely be impacted. So, please keep in mind, whatever is the economic environment, okay, that will have an impact on human resource management. Now, dear students, I will continue with this concept of environment factors affecting HRM in tomorrow's class. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, dear students. Myself, Usha Singh. I'm an assistant professor, Department of Commerce, Karnataka State Open University, Mysore. Today, I'm going to handle a subject called Business Policy and Environment to you. Since you're an MCOM student, you're already having an idea of what is business environment, what are the policies of business, what is strategic management, what are the ethics and responsibility that the business organization should have to follow, all this. So let us discuss one by one. First, let us look into the concept of business. Okay, what is business? You all know business in the sense business is nothing but it is a process of buying and selling of goods and services. Yes. So since it is a traditional in the point of traditional view, we say business is a process of buying and selling of goods and services. It is a process of production, purchase, sale, and distribution of goods and services for the purpose of earning profit. Whereas here, in the modern view of business, we don't say that it is just a purchase and sale of goods and services. So, in the earlier business organization, where every organization, companies for that matter, were concentrating only on earning of profit. But today it is not the case. In order to face a competition, in order to overcome from the competition, the concept of business is totally changed from the point of profit to the point of customer. Now, everywhere the focus is on the customer, it is not on the profit. If they satisfy the customer, the needs of the customer, definitely they can earn profit, definitely they can grow more and more. So, the modern view of business is defined as for mainly focusing on the customer, what needs it is trying to satisfy, which customer group it is targeting, and what are the technologies it will use and the function it is going to perform in order to serve the target market. Who is the target market? Customer is the target market. So this modern view of business is mainly classified into three categories. So when they are focusing mainly on the customer needs are to be satisfied. Firstly, what is to be satisfied? The first question. What is to be satisfied? Here, the needs and wants of the customer is going to be satisfied. The second thing is who is to be satisfied? Who is being satisfied here? The customer groups, the groups of the customers. So here, since the business organization nowadays is looking for not only satisfying the customer for a limit or targeting the limited customer, they are focusing on the large group of customers, where nowadays you also know that the online commerce is emerging, the online business is emerging. So even we being a customer are going to purchase more goods and also receiving the services through online. So the large number of customers, so wherever you are sitting, they are focusing on you and they are satisfying your needs and wants. So the large number of customer groups are need to be satisfied. Next, how the customer needs are to be satisfied, how it is able to satisfy the needs of the customer, it is through the use of technologies, without which definitely large group of customer and the needs of the customer cannot be satisfied at the right time. Then this technology definitely helps the business organization, especially the advanced technologies, research and development using various functions. They have to satisfy the needs of customer. Now tell me, what is the definition of business? So the modern definition of business is mainly concentrated on the customer. So business is defined of the customer needs and wants are to be satisfied, various large group of customers are to be targeted and is to be satisfied, and by using the technologies and by performing various function, the targeted group of customers can be satisfied in order to achieve the objectives of organization. Now let us look into the main concept of business. Here is vision and mission. What is vision? What is then mission? Is there any interconnection or is it one and the same? Definitely, it is interconnected, but it is not one and the same. So, what is vision here? Vision, it indicates what the company wants to create in future. In the sense, here, vision, we say it is a long term objective of business, long term goal of the business organization. So, this vision helps for an organization to look into the long term object where the organization should have to go in future, what the goal the organization should have to create in future, what it has to do in the future. This is the first step every organization should have to look into. What is the vision, where it has to go, why it is starting the business in this area, so what is going to do in the another 5 years. So this is the vision every business organization should have to develop. Next is mission. What is mission? So it is, since I said vision is the long term objectives, mission becomes a short term objectives of every business. So this mission helps for business organization to satisfy the vision or to reach the vision. So this helps the company to see, is the organization going in an order in order to achieve the vision. Suppose for example, the organization main long term objective is to go for globalization, to enter into a global market. Is it possible to enter into a global market immediately after establishing the business? Definitely not, right? So here business organization should have to first establish the business in the local market, identify the needs and wants of the local customers, satisfy them, then face the challenges, competition which comes in the local market, then it has to enter into a national market. After satisfying the customer wants and needs, after gaining the market leadership in the national market, then it can go for global market, it can enter into a global market. So stage by stage, step by step, how it is going to reach the vision, which is only through, it is possible only through mission. So first it is setting of individual, first step of satisfying a local market. So this one objective is called as mission, this one short term goal is called as mission. Means this mission is an objective or the goal, it is a short term objective of the business which helps for achieving vision. So this vision and mission is very helpful for every business organization. At the beginning stage itself, it is the first and foremost goal of every business organization should have to have vision and mission. Next, objectives of business. See here, there are various objectives of business. Any number of objectives you can write down and you can think of. So every business organization here, when they are talking of objectives of the business, we say traditionally also in terms of profit. Every business will set up their organization in order to achieve profit. It is an ultimate goal. It is an ultimate goal, that is achieving or earning more and more profit. Is it the only objective of business? Definitely not. There are various objectives of business. That can be a profit maximization, it can be a wealth maximization, it can be this is classified into areas of objectives. You can look into the areas of objectives. First is profitability. Profitability can be in terms of profit maximization and also wealth maximization. It is divided into a two concept. What is this wealth maximization? So you might have an idea that profit maximization in the sense earning more and more profit. Wealth maximization, is it increasing an asset? Is it investing on the furniture, land and building? Definitely not. Wealth maximization concept is different. Here, wealth maximization is also called as a value maximization. Value maximization in the sense here is the share of business organization. When suppose when the business has gained a market leadership, after gaining the market leadership, it is able to earn a good goodwill. It is able to have a good name and fame in the market. So when it is the case, definitely the company's goodwill is going to be earned. When the company's goodwill is going to be on, whatever the share of the company where the shareholders or the investors invested on the business at the time of investing on the business, if the value of the share was 10 rupees, but after 5 or 10 years the value will not be same, it is going to be increased. What happens here, the value of share is going to be increased, the wealth of an organization is going to be increased. So the company has to satisfy the needs of stakeholders by maximization of wealth. This profit maximization satisfies only the short term objectives of business, whereas wealth maximization satisfy the long term objectives of the stakeholders. Then market, definitely gaining a market leadership is very important. So in order to gain the market leadership, they have to provide a good services to the customer. The where for individual areas there will be individual leaders, like we can call them as a managers, where marketing manager is going to look take care of rendering the services to the customers, providing the right item or right goods and services at the right time. So continuous, that is continuous supply of goods and services is very important, and also focusing on the supply of the needs and wants of the customers. So it is not that earlier it was a case where the organization was supplying or providing only those goods which was produced by an organization, and the customer in that situation they had to accept only that product which was produced by the supplier or the manufactured by the manufacturer business. But now it is not the case. It is where the organization is focusing first on the needs of the customer. After identifying the needs of the customer, they are focusing on producing those product which is needed by the customer and ultimately supplying the needed product to the customer. So this is all an objective of the customer in terms of markets and also productivity. So here when come to a productivity, definitely organization should have to focus on producing a quality product by minimizing wastages. So this is also very important. When there is a more and more wastages, ultimately the cost of the product is going to be increased. What happens then when the cost of product is increased? Who is be burdened? So here ultimately the sufferer is customer because of more prices. And it is also not possible nowadays, if they are producing the product at more cost, more price, because there are competitors who will going to acquire the market if they sell the product with high prices. Next, innovation. It is very important where every business organization should have to think of innovation, research and development, producing an innovative product to a customer. It is not that producing only an outdated product or the traditional product to the customer always. So it is very difficult. You can think of when you in the field of telecommunication, see nowadays we had various competitors, but now what happens, there are only few The telecommunication service providers are available. Who is the leader in the telecommunication service? So it is Geo, and next is Airtel. These are the only two services are gaining and gain the market leadership. It is because of innovation. It is because of lack of innovation, the other companies could not able to come forward. And even when you speak of mobile phones, Nokia was the only company in the olden days. It was gained the market leadership. Everybody was having a product of Nokia. But where is Nokia today? It is no more. Why? Because the company, the Nokia company has could not come out with a new innovation. But whereas the other competitors entered the market with an innovative product, so that they can gain a market leadership, they can attract the customer, they can retain the old customer, can attract the new customers. So Nokia now it is no more. So without innovation, they cannot able to survive in the market. And next is product. So what product they are going to produce to the customer? It is very important. So product, what are the objectives in terms of product here? They have to produce a quality product. It is very important. The organization should have to set an objective of producing a quality product to the customer. Then financial resources. In terms of financial resources, of course they should have to make utilization of all the resources. It is not only a financial resources, even all the resources. I'll inform to you later what are the resources. So this financial resources is it is one of the very important resources of an organization, without which no business organization can move from one place to other place. No activity, no individual, an item can be moved from one place to other without finance. So this financial resources, managing the financial resources in an optimum way, it is very important. Then physical facilities like other resources. What are the physical facilities? Like physical facilities in the sense the assets whatever the company is having. The assets like can be a furniture, the land and building, the computer, mobile phones, motor car, all these, or a printer, xerox machine, whatever the furnitures the organization is providing and healthy with healthy environment, all these are very very important. So providing all these to employees in order to manage it, and also to create a good environment in an organization is very important. Next, organization structure and activities is also very important. How the organization structure is, whether the organization is having there are various types of business organization structure. Like it can be a line organization or it can be a functional organization structure. If it is a line organization structure, completely everything it is completely controlled by an owner, like proprietor or the partner or the owner of the business. But under the functional organization is classified into a different areas of functions. Like for based on each areas, like for there will be a production manager who is taking care of all the production. For finance manager who is taking care of all the financial activities. For marketing department, there will be a marketing manager who is taking care of all the activities in the marketing. Like accounts manager who is taking care of all the activities of accounts. HR manager, like this there will be a individual functional structures where organization, when based on this organizational structure, they have to set an objectives individually. Next, manager performance and development, it is very very important. The individual managers, how they are going to perform, because manager is a leader of an organization who is going to get the work from others. So manager is not only a leader of an organization, he he is an immediate superior, or he is the one who is going to handle and human resources under him. There are various human resources are working, so managing them and his performance and development, the other subordinates are going to be followed. So it is very important for an organization, for and also a manager, to concentrate on managing the resources in an optimum way through his performance, and also a development, how he is going to give a training and development to an employees, how he is going to communicate with his subordinates, how he is going to handle the situation. So everything matters. So this is also very important objectives of the business, that is managers performance and development. Employee performance and attitude is also very important. So here we say employees are a human asset of an organization. Even how finance is important nowadays, even human asset, we are not only the organizations are not only saying them as an employee, they are called as a human asset of an organization. Now they are also going to be considered as an asset, and it is going to be accounted in the financial statements of an organization. So that much priority is been given even to an employees. Why it is because without employees it is very difficult for an organization to move further, right? So it though the organization, in the sense the investors or the owners are going to invest a finance into a business, but who is going to perform here? It is an employee who is going to perform to achieve the organizational objectives. So whatever the performance of an employee, definitely it reflects either in terms of return or rewards, or in terms of punishment also for an organization. So managing an employee performance and attitude is very important. Next is customer service. As we know, ultimately everything is because of satisfying the customer needs and wants. So, providing services to them, continuous supply of goods and services, taking care of needs and wants of the customers, and getting feedback from them after delivering the product is also very important. So, taking the feedback from the customer, what are the if there is any changes needed for the for the product, or is there any upgradation needed, or is there any changes they want to make, made it in the product. Everything is to be taken in terms of feedback, and it is to be upgraded or updated in terms of in the product, so that they can satisfy the customer. Next is social responsibility. Is it necessary? Definitely yes. Why? Because so in order to satisfy the various stakeholders, who are the stakeholders? From the beginning I'm saying stakeholders. Are they called as shareholders? Are the shareholders only called as stakeholders? No. Shareholders are the part of stakeholders, but shareholder is not only a called as stakeholder. Then who are called as stakeholders? The stake. See, when you divide this in two words, stake and holders. So here stakeholders are the one who is going to be having stake in the business organization. Whoever is having holdings or stake in the business organization, they're all called as stakeholders. It need not be a shareholders. Then who are all? So even employees also a stakeholder, customer, then shareholders, competitors, organization, competitor organization, supplier, government, the various person, even the society is also a part of the stakeholder. So they are all the person we are going to discuss in detail of the social responsibility. So, having stake in the business organization, they are all called as stakeholders. The social responsibility here, every business organization will be having some part of responsibility to meet the needs of various stakeholders. So this is social responsibility, and ethics is also very important. So these are the various objectives. Even you can also list out the various objectives of business according to the size and type of the business organization. Now, let us look into the concept of business environment. What is environment? We know what is, we have understood now what is business, what are the objectives of business, what is vision, mission, etc. Then now tell me, what is environment? Environment is nothing but it is the things which is surrounding to us. It can be a things, place, men, people, everything. Whatever it is surrounding to us is called as an environment, right? So whatever we see, everything is surrounding to us, that is called as an environment. What is business environment then? The things which is surrounding to the business is called as business environment, of course. In a simple sense we can say like that, but here the business environment, in the sense, the factors which is going to be influence or affecting the business is called as business environment. These factors affecting to the business environment is classified into a two category. Whatever the factors which is going to be influenced or affected directly or indirectly, all the factors are called as business environment. This is mainly classified into internal and external environmental factors. What is internal environmental factors? The name itself suggests the factors which is affecting to the business internally in the business organization. This is called as internal environment. This internal environment is also called as controllable factors, whereas external environmental factors are called as uncontrollable factors. Why it is called as controllable factors? This internal environmental factors are the factors where it is in the hands of the business organization, where the businessman can control it easily however he wants. Then why the business, or how the business organization, in the business organization the businessman can handle these internal environmental factors? Why cannot able to control the external environmental factors? These external environmental factors, it is not in the hands of businessman, it is completely out of his control. It is externally, whatever though he can able to predict the future, but he cannot able to control those external environmental factors. Let us discuss in detail of this external and internal environment. Here the external environment are again classified into micro environmental factors and macro environmental factors. I'll discuss about this later. This business environment, again, based on the internal factors and the external factors, is classified as SWOT analysis. In terms of environmental analysis, we say that as SWOT analysis. What is this SWOT analysis? So we say that internal environmental factors are the factors. See, it is a SWOT analysis. What is this SWOT analysis? What is this? So we know that this SWOT is nothing but strength, weakness, opportunities, and earlier we consider this as SWOT analysis. The term of C came recently, but earlier it was SWOT. Strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. What is this? Why this P is replaced by C. See, this there will be a strengths and weaknesses in the organization and also opportunities and threats. But no business organization want to say that they have threats to the business. Instead, they are saying that they can able to face any kind of threats. In the sense, they call this as challenges. So this is a SWOT analysis. The business environment, when we talk about in terms of internal environment factors and external environmental factors, this SWOT is this strengths and weaknesses are called as internal environmental factors. Strengths and weaknesses are called as internal environmental factors, and whereas opportunities and threats are called as external environmental factors. Why the strengths and weaknesses are called as internal environment and opportunities and challenges or external environmental factors? Why? Because the whatever the strengths and weaknesses are there in the organization, the businessman can handle it in an easy way, in an easy manner, so that he can control the weakness, he can reduce the weakness, and he can retain the strengths, and also he can improve the strengths of the business organization however he wants. Take an example. For example, in an organization, uh, there are good good resources in an organization. It can be a human resources. Take an example. For example, human resources or an internal environmental factors where it can be controlled. Since it is an internal environmental factors, it can be controlled. How the businessman can control? Suppose this is a good strength of an organization. What is a good strength of an organization? Having a skilled manpower, having a skilled human resources in an organization. This is a strength. So he can manage it easily. Suppose if it was a weakness for an organization, there is no skilled laborers in an organization, what he can do, or there is an excess human resources in an organization which creates burden for the business. So what he can do? He can reduce the manpower. He can reduce the manpower and he can maintain how much ever he wants. So, and when there is a branches for the business, he can transfer the excess manpower into the place where there is a shortage. And if he needs more and more skilled manpower, he can acquire it. If we do not need more manpower, he can relieve them, right? So this is all internal environmental factors, strengths and weaknesses of the business organization. Individually we are going to discuss that in terms of internal environment. When come to opportunities and challenges, this is called as an external environment, where this opportunities and challenges where the business or businessman cannot create it. He cannot create the opportunities. It is going to be occurred in the market, right? Whatever the opportunities it is available, he cannot able to control it or manage it. He can, to some extent he can manage, but not to the extent of 100%, even also challenges. So these are the various external environmental factors are classified as SWOT analysis. Strengths and weaknesses are called as internal environmental factors. Opportunities and challenges are called as external environmental factors. Now let us move into the factor called internal environment. As I said, these internal environmental factors are called as strengths and weaknesses. So these factors, like there are various factors listed here: value system, vision and mission, business objectives, management structure and nature, internal power relationship, human resources, company image and brand equity, physical assets and facilities, research and development. See, somebody has messaged me. Please change the slide, ma'am. Is it not sharing? I'm changing the slide. Is it okay? I think it is okay now, right? See, there is a comment section here. Whatever it is, whatever the problem you are facing, you can write here in the private chat on comments. Is it okay now? Right. Okay. Okay. So here, these are the external environment. See, I'm sharing my PPT. If not clear, it may be problem from your side. Somebody saying yes. Okay. Please keep the mobile in the network, please, so that you may get the clear picture. Yeah, external environment have not come across. In detail, we are going to discuss about external environment. Okay, now let us discuss about the internal environment. Here, the internal environment are the factors. In case, suppose if we are going to consider the internal environmental factors like vision and mission, as we are already discussed. I'm zooming it. If I actually go for a slideshow, it is actually I'm completely in the zoom. If I do the slideshow, whatever the videos, I mean, whatever the slides I'm moving, it is not actually moved here. Is it okay now? Is it visible? Right. Vision and mission, as I already discussed, vision is a long-term goal of a business, and mission is a long-term, short-term goal of a business. See, it is in the hands of the business. However, he wants, he can change it. Whatever the business, whatever the vision and mission, he can change it according to the changed situation. It is in the flux. It is flexible. So suppose the business organization now, as I given an example, as I had given an example that it has to go for global market, it has to enter into a global market. But as per the changing needs of the business, it can change everything in everything like vision and mission also. Like now it has to enter into an online market. It has to reach the targeted large group of customers by through an online business. Now this is the vision of a business organization that is entering into an online market. So now it can change the vision or the mission or even the objectives of the business according to the changed condition. So it is called as an internal environment. However he wants, he can control it. And also we say that, suppose we say there are various like resources. So there are various resources, we say m's of resources. We say, what are those m's of resources? 1 second. Okay, so this can be a men, money, material, market, method, management. Okay, these are the various M's of resources: men, money, material, market, method, and management. So when you talk about men, men includes even women also. So they are called as the human resources of an organization. So these are the internal environmental factors where it can control it easily, as I discussed. And also a money. It is a finance where the organization, how much ever he want, it can acquire from various sources. If it does not want, it can repay it off. It can acquire from various sources through a short term, medium term, long term, from banks or from various hand credits or financial institutions, or it can through selling of bonds, shares, etc. So through this, they can go for managing the money, that is financial resources. Next is material. What is material? Material in the sense it can be a raw material or goods or services, we can say. So here, suppose the organization is going for acquiring a material based on the requirement. So whatever the material it needs, it can acquire based on the requirement. It can also produce the goods how much ever, and that based on the targeted group of the customer, how much ever it needs. So like this, based on the financial resources, based on the investment, how much ever they are going for investing on the material, and how possible it is to manage the material in an organization. We say that as an inventory management. It is very important to manage an inventory in an organization. It does not, it is not that investing more on inventory is important. So it has to manage in such a way that this material or the inventory, you can say that as stock, right? Good, it can be a raw material or work in progress, or can be a finished goods. So whatever they are going to invest on the raw material must be used for further process in a limited period, not keeping or investing more on the raw material. So they should have to invest based on the requirement. So it is also in the hands of the businessman. Then market. Of course, this marketing resources is also very important, where the business organization can control it easily. However, it is going to be handled the situation. Whatever the product it is produced and marketed, it can be based on through promotions, based on the activities like buy one get one, or free samples, like this various through promotional activities. It can market the resources, it can market the goods and services to attract the customers. And methods, whatever the method is it can be like marketing methods, it can be a financial methods, accounting method, or technical method, production methods. It can be whatever the method. Suppose in terms of production method, there are various methods like LIFO, FIFO, like last in first out, first in first out. Whatever the methods they are following, it should have to follow the same method. In case there is a need to change that method into another method, definitely it can able to adopt those methods based on the change situation. And come to a taxation method in the accounting, where earlier they were having indirect tax system, that is VAT system or service tax. But now in the year 2017 July, completely indirect tax system was completely drastically been changed as GST, goods and services tax. So whatever the taxation system was implemented by the government, it was mandated that the organization was compulsorily, mandatorily had to adopt the system of new system of taxation, that is GST. So it was in the hands of the businessman. So it has to change everything, it has to change the method. So method should be in the hands of the businessman. It has to be changed in such a way, it has to be altered or modified in such a way, it is to be it is going to be achieved an organizational objectives. Next, management. Of course, management is also an internal resources, right? Manager, management structure, management nature, as I discussed, based on the organization structure, it can be a functional structure or the line structure. It has to manage in such a way, ultimately they have to reach or achieve an organizational objectives. Like this, even the other objectives, like other internal environmental factors like internal power relationship, As you know, the power and the control or the authority, now it has been delegated. It is not like earlier. For the, especially for the medium and large scale organization, the power and the authority is delegated between delegated between the superior and the subordinate. It is not completely centralized. It is decentralized now. Everything is being decentralized. The power and authority is decentralized. So based on their requirement, they can maintain or manage this internal power relationship. And also, the physical assets and facilities, as I discussed, these are the physical assets and facilities. Research and development is also very, very important. So in India, especially, our the developing country like India, the amount spent on research and development is very, very less. See, of course, definitely at the end, we are going to give an not the important questions, whatever we are teaching in that only, we are going to say whatever it is important. Okay, so here research and development is very important. Without investing money on the research and development, it is not possible for the business organization to come forward with innovative product. So invention and innovation along with research and development, through a research and development, it is very, very important. Now let us move into the external environmental factors. Okay, as we know, external environmental factors are the factors which cannot be controlled by the businessman. It is an uncontrollable factors where these factors are out of the control of the businessman. He cannot control it. However, he wants, like, unlike an internal environment. But this external environmental factors are also classified into two types. One is micro environmental factors, and other one is macro environmental factors. Look at here, micro environmental factors and macro environmental factors. See here, under this micro environmental factors, we say this as controllable to some extent. But macro environmental factors are uncontrollable environmental factors, completely uncontrollable. But this micro environmental factors can be controlled to some extent. How it can be controlled to some extent? It can be controlled to some extent. How means, take an example. I'll tell you the factors also. Take an example of supplier. Okay, look at here. These are the factors which I'll explain how this is controllable to some extent based on this example. First one is suppliers. How the suppliers can be a controllable factors. Take an example. This supplier or the one who is going to supply the goods, raw material to the businessman. They are also called as creditors, right? When they are going to supply goods on credit basis to the business, they are called as creditors. So here, every business organization is going to acquire goods or the raw material from the supplier on credit basis. So no business is going to repay immediately to the supplier amount, or whatever the raw material it is been utilized at, into final goods. When it is converted into a final goods, after final goods and after resale of these final goods to the customer, whatever the money received, it takes, suppose, 1 month or 2 months time period. This time, lag time, we say, this lag time of earning amount is called as credit period. That time period is being taken by the businessman in order to make the payment to the supplier. But what happens, this supplier is not an internal factors, it is an external factors. Of course, this supplier cannot be controlled. Not that it is completely uncontrollable, but since they are an external factors, they cannot be controlled. But to some extent, they can be controlled. How? This supplier, suppose they are not ready to supply a raw material to the business organization, or they are increasing the price of raw material unnecessarily, or they are not supplying the raw material in time to the business. These are all the problems what the business organization is facing. So now it is very difficult for the business organization to manage without having a right amount of raw material at the right time. Otherwise it is going to lose various other resources. So if the business organization should have to think of, instead of depending on a single supplier, if it is going to depend on more than one supplier, will it be a problem? If one supplier is not supplying at the right time, it can go for getting the product or the raw material from the other supplier. In case if the raw material is provided, one supplier is charging high price for the raw material, so that the organization can get the raw material from the other supplier, where it is where whoever is selling at less prices. So like this, to some extent it can be controlled. But if it is a uniform problem in the market, if the product is not available at the market to all the supplier, it will become an uniform problem. Then it will become an uncontrollable factors. Otherwise it is controllable to some extent. Like this, let us discuss even other factors, micro environmental factors and macro environmental factors, in the next class. Okay, thank you. I'm going to leave it. Is it okay? Right? Yeah, you can ask us doubt. Whatever the doubt you have, you can ask. Sandesh? Yes, employees are internal environmental factors. It can be controllable, definitely. See, look at here. I said employees, human resources. They are internal environmental factors. Human resources, they are the internal environmental factors. It can be controlled easily. Clear? Clear? Okay, you saw in microenvironment. Yes, I'll tell you tomorrow why it is even microenvironmental factors, but actually it is an internal environmental factors. As I said, to some extent, sometimes it even becomes uncontrollable. I'll tell you how in the next class. Okay, right. Thank you.